Greetings. I am giving my review of the Love Your Liver program and consulting through the Nutrition Detective. I have some notes here, so I'm going to look on them as I wrote this before. I am going to record. So I hope y'all are all doing well out there in internet land. So in 2019, I had a major mental breakdown. All my symptoms of major depression, and I was about 36 years old. I had styes on my eye, fatigue, brain fog, confusion, anger, and even rage at some times. All signs of depression. And I needed a big change in my life. And at first, I thought it was all emotional from my high stress job. And I stayed in that idea for about 2 years. I did make some major changes, and it was devastating because I love my work as I was creating a legacy. I am an entrepreneur and I love being a business owner. It's all that I ever wanted as a little girl because I grew up in a small town and I wanted to be what I saw on TV, a businesswoman. Almost like hailing a taxi, like the stereotypical stuff in New York City or whatever. I just loved that idea when I was little, and that's what I really wanted. And I got to that place at a young age. And as I was creating my legacy, and then I had all these terrible depressive symptoms, I knew I was suffering. I had to explain to so many people that my inability to concentrate and navigate our systems was, and I was feeling overwhelmed. A lot of people in my career field, criminal defense, suffer from depression, addiction. And in 2020, I knew a handful of lawyers who committed suicide. And it's just the nature of the beast because when people bring you their problems, um, criminal defense being where people go when they are really struggling with the worst day of their life, it has its effect on you. So one big part of my career was traveling for investigations. And in 2019, I couldn't travel. I remember having a panic attack. I could drive like around town, but going even 5 hours to visit my family. Sometimes I had cases or witnesses that I would need to interview in a town five, even going on a plane states away. It wouldn't be available. So, I felt really sorry for myself because the depression symptoms were just not my character and I didn't feel like myself. I felt lost. I was not alone, yet I felt very lonesome. I felt agitated by my condition. I was helpless. I never felt so alone in my life. So 2019, 2020, 2021. It was like my independence and my future planning had faded away. So the tools that I had, like therapy, could only support me for a few hours at a time. The tools I used as distractions were just a band-aid. And I was so confused at really like where to start. So I really blamed myself a lot. And that's why, those first 2 to 3 years were just about getting a grip on my condition and my like weekly routine. So it was hard to start or even like know where to go. I was so confused. And then when I'd get confused, I would blame myself. So no one could really help me. I don't think that my family or friends could even see me as a weak person. So that kind of blocked some people being able to step in. And I realize that now. I was so stressed that I started smoking cigarettes. And I recall one time I was in a meeting for work about a murder case, and my rage was so terrible, like, and it was really hard to manage. Working in criminal defense, you have to face injustice a lot, and you have to face racism and labeling and some of the lower vibrating emotions of humanity. And so I just remember utilizing smoking as a way to decompress, but that also was telling me that if that was my go-to thing that I was reaching for, I was toxic. I knew it was depression and I could intellectualize the problem. And since I could pay, my doctor, um, I could get some help and resources that I needed. I told my doctor, of course, and my friends and my family that I thought I had everything under control, even though I really didn't know because I wasn't anywhere near any type of solutions. Um, I was not healing at that time. I was coasting in a very dark place, and the only medical answer I got to deal with stress was that I needed to rest. I didn't see how I could afford to manage or heal my stress going at this slower pace of life. So I cut back on work a lot in 2020 because of the pandemic, but then it really was for my mental health. And I felt like if all they're telling me to do is manage my stress by resting, well, I could do that. So I did put my work at a manageable pace that I could sleep as much as I could. Even though I went slower, it didn't get better. I had more rest and I still had some breakdowns with like brain fog, confusion, just like waking up confused and tired. I would say that that would happen like 1 to 3 times in a quarter. The breakdowns could cost me like a week of repair time where I could sleep and I could cry mostly. I could not figure out what was happening. And that was probably like 2 years. So learning from the Love Your Liver program, which I discovered in 2022, and then I had to save the money to afford the consultation in 2023. So learning from the Love Your Liver program, I realized that I was having bile dumps. And during my limitations, I changed, work life habits. Like I was saying, I kind of downshifted my weekly schedule. I made a lot of changes. It was devastating because I'm an entrepreneur my whole life. And I was really trying to work enough to not have to get a job. And that means a lot to me because of my entrepreneurial spirit. I want to go out there and get it for myself, even if I'm suffering with depression. So, eventually, though, I did get a part-time job, and that was crushing for a bit. With my newfound downtime that I started, since 2019 and 2020, I did a lot of research. And I was kept on getting linked to liver health. And so then naturally, I found the Love Your Liver program and Dr. Smith's live stream on YouTube. Still, the answers, were coming through a little bit more. I took a big step and I decided to do 7 liver flushes. So that was huge. In 2022, I decided to go ahead and do that. And I believe that all my research and like the algorithms, they really led me to watching the live stream over and over again. And so I listened to almost all the live stream and I saved my money and I signed up for the consultation. In the live stream, I learned to use magnesium topical. And then I started sleeping like a baby. Amazing. I used to get like 3, 4 hours and then I would have a bathroom break in the middle of the night. And now I get 7 hours straight and sometimes 8. So I signed up for the consultations August 2023. And I got the fact that my copper was too high and definitely a part of my mental health problems. So I started with the Keystone Minerals exactly as it's recommended. I followed the directions about potassium and sun fiber, which you get those articles in the Love Your Liver program. And I did the slowest process I could to prevent a bile dump, which it, took me, I I did the slowest process to prevent a bile dump, which to me, it looked very much like depression symptoms. So my bile dumps look like depression symptoms in my mind. So it's clear that this is my liver health, right? My bile recipe has some mental health symptoms to it. So, to prevent the depression symptoms like brain fog, being overwhelmed, anger, agitation, I took my steps very seriously and I am still going slow. So, working the program with the support of the Love Your Liver community, thank you so much. I am learning so much about my body. I know exactly where to go to get the support that I need. And I love being able to tackle my depression in this do it yourself type of way. I'm empowered. The life-saving products and the tips for me are the Keystone Minerals, which now I can take one a day and I take it at night before bed. Sometimes I take extra zinc, just the droppers. And that really has cured my constipation. The magnesium topical, I did the directions, and that's helping me get the best sleep of my life, hands down. And now I am more thoughtful about sun fiber. I take small doses, and my gut health is supporting my brain health, which I read all about that in 2019 and 2020, but I didn't have any solutions. I just knew that that was the thing, but I didn't know how to figure that out, right? So I know my body now has the nutrients that it needs to thrive. I trust my knowledge of liver health plus my unique symptoms, and I know how to support my stress when it happens. Because sometimes long trips will still give me a little bit of stress, but I know exactly what to do. I make a magnesium bath and I sit in it, and I try to every night when I'm on my trip, and I feel better. I have confidence in my ability to care for my body like none other, and I have capacity. Like I can be objective about what I'm going through. I have bandwidth now. I know my body signs and signals. I am confident in how to care for myself. My skin looks beautiful, and I have Dr. Smith to thank and his legacy. The community support is just as important, and I am becoming a nutrition detective in my own kind of way with my health and my well-being. I feel empowered, and this program and consultation, it really did save my life, and I'm just so thankful that I have this in my pocket to use and to utilize for the rest of my life. And I think that I will be in the Love Your Liver program and get multiple consultations as I move forward. I am feeling better now. I am back to work. I actually have learned so much from my health experience, my health crisis, that I have been able to put myself on the trajectory that I feel like is God's plan for my life. And so, yes, I still work in criminal defense because I am a justice warrior. I guess I'm an advocate and I have the heart of justice. So I still will work in criminal defense, and I have just chose to honor my body and my health in a whole new way. And it just wouldn't have happened as fast, or my recovery wouldn't have been as fast if it wasn't for the Love Your Liver program. So I just want to say thank you. And I hope that this video helps someone with the confidence that even going slow and honoring yourself and learning your own body and how to help it, you too will feel better and you will be healed. I wish you the very best and have a good day.